All right. Next is Atlas, starring
Speaking
Jenny
of
from the Block.
parody,
So I had to go back and watch the Critical Drinkers video on this.
yes, he did kind of blow this one up.
Yes, Jenny from the Block. All right. So Atlas, shut up. Atlas is a 2024 American science fiction action film starring Jennifer Lopez as a skilled counterterrorism analyst who harbors a profound skepticism towards artificial intelligence and who comes to realize that it may be her sole recourse following the failure of a mission aimed at apprehending a rogue robot. The film is directed by Brad Payton and written by Leo Sardarian and Aaron Eli Collette. The film also stars Simu Liu, here he is again, Sterling
Useless.
K. Brown, and Mark Strong. A co-production of ASAP Entertainment, Safe House Pictures, Nurican Productions, and Berlanti Schecter Films. Atlas was released on Netflix on May 24th. It was not well received by critics, but it was successful on Netflix, reaching the platform's top 10 list in 93 countries, including the number one spot in 71 of them. This also had a budget of $100 million, and
Burning it up.
it has a 19%. All right, so there are movies where a lot of it is a tight shot on the actor's head or head and upper torso, and they are talking to a voice that is not present on screen. For a really good example of this, there's a Jake Gyllenhaal movie that me and Jason reviewed on a triple feature about a year or two ago, where he plays like a 911 dispatcher. That one wasn't bad. And there were other movies that kind of come across as like a one man play where there's enough going on with the actor and the disembodied voice to carry the movie. But that is entirely dependent on the actor being super skilled and the dialogue being sharp and interesting. Atlas had none of those things going for it.
Correct.
Jennifer Lopez is much better off in romantic comedies where she's accidentally marrying a fan. She was great in Marry Me,
Was she?
or the bit where the movie I think she did last year where she's on the island and gets attacked by terrorists and she's bumble fucking around with the groom. Like that was fun. I remember watching that with Melissa and the kids. We actually had a good time with that. So Jennifer Lopez is a pretty lady and she has passable acting skills and she does her best work when, much like her dancing, when she's held up by other people. She works best as a part of an ensemble or with a cast around her that she can bounce off of. Taking all of that away from her, she can't move. The only person she's talking to is a disembodied voice, and she is utterly reliant on every ounce of her acting skill. This thing falls apart immediately. Not to mention the fact this is an ass plot, and I will throw it to you now.
Yeah, the plot is really, really dumb. The character's inner conflict is she's responsible for awakening the AI in Simu Liu, who now wants to destroy the world with a carbon warhead that will ignite the atmosphere, and it's dumb. It's just dumb. Um, I did not hate this movie.
I just thought it was like I hate to sound like Alexis, but I was just bored to tears.
Yeah, like there's not enough here to warrant an emotional reaction on the level of hatred.
Yeah.
It's I know why this bombed to the extent that it did. Jennifer Lopez, like you said, like even a better actress is going to struggle with the dialogue presented here. There's not really any interesting visuals. There's not really any interesting.
I think Charlize Theron would have handled it better. First of all, she's 10 times the actress Jennifer Lopez is.
True.
Just starting there. But Jennifer Lopez, Charlize Theron is used to taking grizzled, beat up, at the brink characters. And I think she would have brought a lot to this one. This also needed another pass through editing in terms of the dialogue writing.
Yeah, you really needed to hone that up. You needed a plot that wasn't this dumb. It was basically, hey, we found the guy. We're going to go send a group of people to get him, and they'll be carrying the one weapon he needs. So, of course, he shoots down the ship and then fixes it and is now going to use the secret security codes to send it and blow up the Earth because better that that the machines do it now for the humans and then try to repopulate with better humans that they can take care of, and it yeah. And you've got Simu Liu as a flat I mean, part of the direction here was to be flat because he's supposed to be a robot. You can still be a menacing, if somewhat flat in affect robot, and he's just
For all the shit
not.
that Schwarzenegger gets, he was great as the Terminator
Yes.
in terms of being flat and menacing at the same time.
Yep.
Sure, you can throw a lot of that at his body shape, but
Helps, but that's not all of it.
that's the thing is what people don't remember about the Terminator, because I just watched this with Jonas a few months ago, and I was really like watching his performance in it. He doesn't use his body for much. Like, he's an intimidating guy to begin with. So, like, he's big and he's large and he's wide, and most mortals standing next to Arnold Schwarzenegger are going to be intimidated. Period. Just by virtue of standing next to a giant. However, in the movie, his presence is more about how he uses his body and not what he's doing with it, so to speak. Like,
Yeah, there's ways to use your physicality without being big.
right,
And a lot of his performance would have worked even if he was 20 pounds lighter.
yeah. Um, so there's this trend in Hollywood. We've talked about it before. Of in order to capture menacing, in order to present as menacing, you have to be you have to whisper and be flat, monotone, and that is a misunderstanding of how menacing works.
That is taking the wrong lessons from Jake Roberts.
Yes. Atlas also looks like shit.
Yeah, there's some very badly put together sequences here. It's not interesting.
I'm definitely noticing that when like you're making a movie that is meant straight for streaming, as every single one of these so far we've talked about was, like they knew going when they were making them that these were going to these were not going to theaters, and so it's like, okay, well, to save on the budget, we'll shoot them in the woods. We'll shoot this in the woods. Everything but unfrosted. We'll shoot it in the woods. We'll shoot it in the woods. Like apparently like that, and you can do that, but you have to. I think I mentioned this when I did the Mike Flanagan triple feature with Sean. There was something about not Oculus, the one with the cabin in the woods where they actually make the woods look interesting. You have to be careful with how you shoot nature, because you can either make it look vibrant and interesting or menacing, threatening, or you can just make it look like you took a picture of your backyard, and that's kind of what this looks like. This looks like kids running. This looks like kids running around with cell phones and camcorders, shooting their own student film.
A
And
little bit.
or if you've ever watched like kids like cosplaying in the woods, or LARPing, it kind of reminds me of that, with the exception of they have to sometimes animate her Iron Man suit.
Yeah, pretty much. This is again, it's just not a very good movie.